What's going on, everyone? We've got a really special video today because I'm actually going to be showing off like the full no cap, no meme, no cope, actual secret sauce on what the Reptile deck is looking like right now. So I've played a bunch of variations of this, but here's like my actual legit attempt at a build. I've been playing this a lot on Dueling Network. You might have run into me playing it, and this is the latest version that I've ended up on. So let's just go over it really quick. It's kind of like a Reptile Dandy Warrior thing. The reason I'm playing this is because there's a lot of neat synergies. The main connecting piece is actually this one card, Reptilian Vasky, because it can special itself by tributing 2 Dandy tokens, essentially, 2 zeros from anywhere on the field. And it's hyper searchable because you play the 3 Reptilian Gardna. So you play the 3 Reptilian Gardna. This is like the best card in the deck, by the way. Gardna is insane. It's a 2k defender. It searches any Reptilian when it dies. It can't miss timing like Duprog. It's crazy. You can use it with offerings to the Snake Deity. It's like Icarus, but a +1. And the other targets we play are 1 Naga, which can basically set up Vasky or Caius or whatever. It's a pretty decent card. And then Scylla, only because it's 1800, and every now and then you need a guy who can just be 1800. You play a lot of zeros in this deck, in case you hadn't noticed. Other boss monsters, we play Triple Anata, just super easy to get live, like free advantage every turn. You draw it later on the game, it can be pretty big. Generally, you can just use it to just like trade with stuff, pick off cards. It's a pretty strong card. Sometimes it's awkward, but I think 3 is a reasonable number in general because it's kind of like Ab-Zero, where it's just like every copy of it fuels the next copy of it. So it's sort of logical to play 3. And then we're on 1 Dad. We play a lot of Darks in here, and there's some milling, so I think the Dad is justified, even if it's not nowhere near the best Dark on Dragon deck. Just like, you can just randomly win the game with Dad sometimes, and there's a lot of decks like that. Then for the like Dandy Warrior stuff, we're on Triple Raiko Trooper for milling, or on the Dandies, just 1 quick draw. I'm a lot more open to this ratio since Feng Shui top. Double Debris Dragon, you can use this to bring back a bunch of the Reptilians. Like, you can bring back Gardna and then use Offering, which is kind of neat. You can use it to bring back Dandy to set up Vasky. You can do all sorts of cool things. Double Caius, just pretty easy to set up in this deck. So, and it's just an insane card in Edison format. Another Dark Monster. Play Gorse Trag, play Sangan, and then the Spell Trap is pretty standard. We're on the Offerings. We're on a bunch of staples. We're on Cold Wave. I think Cold Wave is insane in this deck. It goes so well with Ananta. If they can't out it, you just get multiple free pops. It goes so well with Debris into Black Rose. Just great with Dark Arm. Great with Raiko Caius even. There's so many good ways to exploit Cold Wave to get advantage. So yeah, and then side and extra, pretty standard, shouldn't require much explanation. So, played like a lot of matches. We're just gonna be showing off the most recent 5 that I've played with this build. I think I've only played 5 with this build, with this exact build that I had. I think the last cards I added were like Cold Wave Dad or something. So anyway, this is a match against a zombie player. As you can see, we're going second, I think, and we just go Set Gardna. Set Gardna is like a reasonable turn 1 play here. And now I'm thinking, I kind of want to make a play. I don't want to just leave this sitting here. So I go for the quick draw. I'm thinking, if he has Book of Moon or something, right, I can just Vasky him or Caius him. So I opt to Vasky him because I don't see another like clear way I'm going to get value out of this Vasky in the near future. Maybe I'll top deck a Debris and I'll regret committing my Vasky this early. But yeah. He goes Stratos over my quick draw. He actually doesn't use his Allure. Okay, now uses the Allure. But now the Dust Shoot is dead. So, kind of fortunate for us there. I decide we need to get rid of the Ocean. And he draws him out, man. That's a rough break for our opponent here. I was kind of confused as to why they scooped that game 1, but now I know their hand just sucked. I mean, that can happen in this high rollier sort of build of zombie. I think this is zombies. I saw a Goblin at some point. So, game 2, he gets super aggressive, goes for the turn 1 Stardust with the Dark Grepher pitch. He's thinking he can just like ride this Future Fusion to the W, which maybe he can. It's kind of an awkward spot. I make a bit of a ballsy play, setting the mirror so I can preserve my Scylla, try to go for Caius, but he has the pulling the rug anyway, so I was kind of screwed over no matter what. Here, I do get to mirror into Gores, which is not bad. Because now he doesn't have any back row. We can out his field. I opt to summon the Trooper just to get some stuff engraved for Nanta, get the draw, and also set up the Call of the Haunted so I can set both my back row and not have to worry about getting blown out by Storm or anything, because we could chain the call, get a draw. So here we pretty much have to drop a Nanta. Opponent's hand is pretty. He's trying to do one of these weird things people will do against this deck a lot, which is just not summon cards. So it's kind of something you're going to need to learn when playing this deck is how to play around your opponent just being passive, because a lot of the ways you win games is just by getting free like pops. Now it is like a pretty good problem to have of just like my opponent is sitting there not doing anything. Honestly, it's kind of like the Yu-Gi-Oh equivalent of a first world problem, but it is something you're gonna have to learn to deal with when playing this deck. Fortunately, this deck just plays infinite things for a Nanta to pop. One thing that's kind of awkward about this card is that it just pops things in end phase. And it has to, so if your opponent ends on an empty board while staring down a Nanta, then you have to pop one of your own cards. But as you can see, I've just been like, I haven't lost any value to it. Here I go for the Cold Wave, and I was actually thinking, like, man, if that card is exactly RFDD and I don't Cold Wave here, that's going to suck. But also, I was thinking I was just going to Cold Wave and then, like, make Debris play, drop a Nanta, so then just kill his guy, and then, like, pop the back row, and then he's just, like, on one normal summon for next turn. Zombies don't really have, like... I think Dark Armed is dead, so he doesn't have really a way of putting multiple guys on the field, and they need to have multiple guys on the field. But then he just chains RFDD, so he's dead to the Black Rose effect. So there wasn't really a good play for him there. He maybe could have lived another turn if he hadn't RFDD'd, though. All right, next match, up against Christius Horn, I think. This matchup is super frustrating in general, I think, because it just feels... It's just kind of like Dragon Turbo. It just feels like so much hinges on luck. And here we get screwed over because we set the Turtle turn 1 into the Aaron. I go for Tragodia here since we don't have another play, really. But he's got the Orange Light. So this is pretty awkward. We don't draw a monster again. And here I kind of just have to set everything. I hope Elila is my MST, but he gets the Solemn. But it could have been worse because he could hit my call. We go MST here. And... we end up hitting in and dropping the Ananta. So I opt to go for the pop to force the Beckoning Light. That way that ensures I'll be able to resolve offerings and not die this turn. However, he did top deck a normal summon that gives him exact game here, unfortunately. So that game was awkward. It was like almost playable for us if we had just like been one card less bricked in the opening hand, if you know what I mean. So game number 2, we draw all right. I decided to set Raikou because there's no way I'm losing to stupid-ass turn 1 Aaron again. Unfortunately, he has the Trooper, though, this time, so it's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. But we're in, like, an okay spot. How many fairies does he have? He has 3. So, yeah, I have to be, like, super careful about this, because JD is just live, like... So he goes for the MST. Fortunately, I can just chain the offerings, get the search. I think I actually like run out of... I like hard draw all my Reptilians this game, and I run out of searches or something at some point. Just a little bit awkward. We end up resolving Turtle a lot, though. Oh yeah, we have like another Turtle, and then he hits over my final Turtle, and I'm actually just out because I've milled and or drawn every Reptilian in my deck. So a little bit awkward. I go for the Ram in to try and draw something. I'm like, finally I found that stupid Dandelion, so we can make Drill Warrior. He maybe should have heralded this during next standby. Yeah, he 100% should have. I mean, I guess it's going to be like Debris Dragon or it's going to be the Drill, but... Okay, he 100% should have heralded this summon of Debris here. I know, like, he's still going to lose his shit to Vosky and whatever, but I think he held this Herald just too long. He's, like, way past 4 fairies, so the Christia is just dead. The only thing I have to worry about is JD, so I think I just Mind Crush it and draw phase. Unfortunately, he doesn't have it, so... yeah. He's just going to go for this play. I think maybe he should have gone Thought Ruler. Yeah, Thought Ruler probably would have been better. We know he's got that Book of Moon, but we have a guaranteed lethal line either way. So we force the book, then we just go for Black Rose, flip it face up, make Vosky hit him for game. So, yeah, we're going to win game number 2. It took a bit longer than maybe should have, but yeah. And then game number 3. Game number 3, I forget what the hell happened. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. So... oh yeah, we open an okay hand. We have Debris Foolish going second, so it's really just Herald that we have to worry about. And he does have it. I forget if he uses it. He does not use it. Oh no, he opts to use it to out the Stardust now. He should have just used it on the Debris. I would have had 1 fewer tokens. It's not like he was going to clear all the tokens. Well, yeah, maybe he could have. He could have like avoided this whole situation with the Kais, but then he would have had to deal with Gores. So it was not like a great spot for him. But he wouldn't have been this behind. And yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. He can't JD me anymore, and like Dad is one card off being live, so he's just going to scoop it up there. So we are able to take the W against Christia Storm despite the awkward game number 1. Here's a game against Hero Beat. I think this matchup is completely free for the deck. Gardna is actually just like an FTK. They have no choice but to Spark Gardna if they ever want to get rid of. Well, I say that, but he's actually going to Brain Con Miracle my Gardna, which honestly sounds kind of worse than just sparking Gardna. Speaking of which, my Gardna gets sparked. But fortunately, that thing can't miss timing, so we're getting our search no matter what. We just go set the Raikou, pop his back row. We mill a Dandy, which is nice. I think we go for Stardust here. Stardust ends up eating a D-Prison, which is a little awkward. But we have the Vasky drop. Pop his guy. He's going to get over he's going to get over the, I don't know why I called it Vasky. It's a Nanta. Whatever. It's fine. Maybe I should have just done this differently, but I end up, like, aggressively tragging. It's going to be fine, though. We're going to out his field with the offerings, and we're going to get him for some damage. He's just on 1 Diva. I think he must have been on 1 Gilman, because he drew his 1 Gilman both times, and it kind of bricked his Diva. Maybe two Gilman's right in this deck. I don't know. My honest opinion is that you just shouldn't play Gilman in that deck at all. Shouldn't play Diva Gilman. But we have Lethal with the Kai's Burn there in game number 1, which is funny. Game number 2, this hand honestly sucks. But it's like we're still just going to win because the matchup is so stacked in our favor. Like, we can just draw 5 normal summons and it's fine. I think I should not have searched Vasky. I did it because I thought he was just going to leave my turtle sit there, but it's obvious that he's just going to make Brionac. I've kind of missequenced things. I probably should have gone for Lone Fire first. But it's not going to matter too much. We're going to go for the Titanial over the Brionac. So that's going to out that. Again, he doesn't have another target in deck, apparently. He can make Colossal. And drawing the Gilman just sucks. Okay, so Colossal's going to out the Titanial. He's going to get over the Dandy. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to leave 2 tokens there. I thought he might play around Mirror, but he doesn't. But it's fine because we're going to get Kai's off no matter what. That's going to out his whole field. We also have DD Crow. He mistakenly just slams the Miracle when he could have summoned the Alias first, so we're going to be able to stop that Miracle with the DD Crow. He's going to knock my Raikou, which we don't really care about at this point. We're just beating down his stuff with this Caius. He needs to draw an out, and he is not. So it's going to look like we're just going to win a swift 2-0 here against the Hero Beat matchup. Okay, I end up summoning that. It gets Hero Blasted, whatever. We get a search. I mean, Turtle is so good against this deck. The Gardna do be doing work. We go for the offerings, which is the Judgment, but I mean, he's just so dead. Like, we have a Dad that's going to be live if he ever outs my field. So this one is just, we're up like a bajillion cards. It's super over. Can take a while to end games with this deck, though. It's a very, like, control-oriented strategy. So, next match, what do we got here? Up against, what was this matchup? Oh, it was another Christia Sworn. This deck is everywhere, man. What the hell? DB Randos be playing that Christia Sworn deck, I gotta say. So he's gonna go for Celestia here, which is fine because we've got the Dandy, so we're not gonna take any damage. We have the Debris for next turn. We've got a live Ananta as well, so we're pretty much just chilling. I think I actually do this to set up offerings. That's a little bit of a weird play. We're just going to let him kill my Debris Dragon so that I can have the offerings in the end phase. That's a pretty good offerings. We definitely take those. We go for the Vasky, and he can't Orange Light my Debris Dragon. I feel like I was playing way too passive in these stages because I was just like fixated on the fact that I thought he had JD or Christie or something, and I just needed to like hold my shits for when I get JD'd or something. But I think I should have just approached this matchup with more of a like just push his shit in mindset. Might have been better. We draw Dark Armed, which is not quite near live yet, and I don't know why he did this. I mean, he was dead either way, because, yeah, but he kind of just got unlucky and didn't draw his boss monsters in time that game. He probably would have if he had Christia at the time when he had 4 fairies, but just didn't draw it in time, so I don't know. Definitely tells me that I should have played that more aggro. Now, this is hilarious, because I go charge mill 3 darks and just drop that. Oh, that's cruel. That's really cruel. And now I'm just like, this game, we're getting aggressive. We're ending this game fast. We're not letting him get his stupid grave set up for his dumbass boss monsters. He draws Lumina, goes for the Lila, just attacks. I don't Torrential here. Maybe I should have. I just didn't know about the Honest, I guess. But then he doesn't like. Oh wait, Torrential was in my hand. What am I talking about? I bluff set of the Foolish. That would be why I did that. But we have this cool lethal line by stealing Lumina, getting back the Raikou, and then just tributing for Caius, attacking for 34. So that was pretty neat. We pick up the dub there, and then the last match that we have is up against Ribbit Champion, which is Monster Gamer 1333. He is playing. I've run into this deck like twice in the past couple days, which is not a lot, but it's weird that I ran into it twice. It's this like crazy plant skill drain thing with trade in and multiple Titanials. I didn't know what to make of it. So anyway, he goes for Titanial, hits in, but the Naga just immediately nullifies it. This card can be really good in situations like this. Now we're going to see. I resolve Cold Wave like every game this match, and it's absolutely devastating every time. So we're really going to start to see the value of Cold Wave. I just like out his whole field for free. He can't even set things here. He can't use his trade-in. So we're just going to out the Thunder King for free too, because he felt like he had to summon that. Which, honestly, he could have just not summoned the Thunder King, but I would have popped my own monster probably for some... yeah, so I don't know. It was a rough spot for him. Here we can drop Vosky, which I just opt to go for, because when you're in situations like this, and it's not clear you're going to get another chance, you might as well just summon the Vosky. So I'm just trying to beat in. He's got the Book of Moon to stay alive. We go Charge the Light Brigade, set the Raikou. Okay, so I miss the 50-50 here, and I end up... I should have maybe just like done something to go for lethal here through anything except Mirror / Torrential, but I don't, so he's going to live. But I feel like this game is like pseudo-1 at this point. It doesn't even matter what he has. Like, we get mirrored, we just don't even care. We get 2 searches, we're up 4 cards. Like, there's just no way we're losing from this position. So, yeah, he scoops it up. We're going to game 2. I just realized there's only a 13 card extra here. What the hell's going on with that? Our hand is definitely not bad here. So we just go summon Gardna. He's kind of bricked, which I could see happening in this weird deck where you play all these floodgates with, like, Debris Dragon and Lone Fire. So, I opt to go for Vosky here. He's probably going to flip Skill Drain. And I like... Okay, at Dusted, he has Bottomless. Okay. So, that's going to deal with his field we hit in. Yeah, in hindsight... So, I decided I just want to make a throwy dumb play, and I Black Rose all my stuff. Now, this was especially stupid because I know he's on, like, Oppression and shit, and it's post-board, so he might even have, like, Dynas. But I'm just like, nah, I want to make my own Drill Warrior. And I also know he plays, like, tons of Book of Moons and Compulse, but I'm like, no, must summon Drill Warrior. I will Black Rose 4 of my own cards to summon Drill Warrior. This wasn't an entirely serious play. I was kind of memeing, but still, shouldn't have done that, so don't emulate me on that one. He could have stopped my MST on his Oppression, which was, by the way, a super lucky top deck that, like, bailed me out in a big way. But yeah. He draws Titanial, which I imagine happens a lot when you play 3 Titanial. We find Cold Wave again. I end up using it, but we don't have Black Rose in the extra anymore, so you gotta make this weird Ananta play. But it is a 5-mat Ananta, so it's just gonna start popping shit. Now, some super weird thing happens here that I didn't catch at the time. He tries to, like, Call of the Haunted Titanial stop Ananta, but this doesn't work because I have Prio in the end phase to be Chainlink 1, so I'll just, like, resolve and pop the call. So if he wants to use this, he has to use it at end of main, in which case I can just go battle phase and hit over the Titanial because I haven't attacked yet. So actually, Monster Gamer shouldn't have been able to out the Ananta here the way that he did, and yeah, that might have altered the outcome of the game there. I didn't catch that at the time. I just, like, assumed that he meant to do it at end of main, but I don't remember what I thought, but yeah, you definitely can't do that. So just for those watching, I did realize after the fact that that was not really a legal play. So I go for Debris, just hit over, drop a Nanta. I think the Ananta gets Solemned, which is, like, we're cool with that. We have a Caius. I think I just trade the Caius for the Titanial. Yeah. Could have gone, like, maybe RDA, but we'd have gotten Bottomless, so... Yeah, now we're in a bit of a bad spot. We need to, like, Gores or something. Now, I think I end up losing the game because I don't realize that he's on multiple Titanial. I don't remember what happens here. Oh, yeah. I don't know what happens with this Gores token. I think it, like, gets set to permanently 0, or Monster Gamer thought it was, and I thought it wasn't, and I don't know who was right about that. But we're gonna end up losing this anyway because he has just Tribute Summon Titanium. So I don't know. I don't know the ruling on the Gores token, if it gets, like, stuck at 0 forever or whatever. I think it might. I'm not really sure. But For sure, the thing with the Ananta was not how that should have worked with the end phase call. And I kind of threw that game with the Black Rosing 4 of my own cards too. But we're going to game number 3. We're going to game number 3, even with all the caveats and the whatever. So I decided to just go Foolish Debris here. This whole game kind of felt just like unlosable for me. This deck is so good at playing into all these back row and stuff. So my guy gets compulsed, whatever. He just goes for Ancient Fairy, hits over. That's fine. We get a free search. And then we go set Dandy, set call. He's just set passing. We're set passing. I go for an Ananta. I maybe should have just dusted on summon so this guy would actually have attack points. But he gets compulsed anyway because he doesn't have a monster to out it. We go for Storm, but I don't. He judgments it, and I didn't even see him judgment it. So a little bit of an awkward moment there. We're just going to set everything. We're totally fine, though. I go for the Offerings. He has the Compulse to stop it, but we're totally cool with this as well. We're just going to summon Sangan attack. Eats a Deep Prison, whatever. He's on 3 the dangers. Behold, the danger of playing 3 Titanial. You will draw all 3. He's also playing Avarice in here, which is kind of wild that this deck fits in Avarice. I feel like that would be super bricky as well. So anyway, we're back to our whole like whack-a-mole to back row game plan that's been serving us pretty well. Here's a Torrential, but all my monsters just float. So we get the Turtle Search, we summon, we special Vosky. Vosky eats a Bottomless. We attack, we eat a Deep Prison. At this point, I decided to use Call to force through some damage, because if he has Heavy Storm, I'm kind of in some serious shit, so I want to make him go low. We hit over the set Barbaros. He's got Call for Barbaros, but we have the Bottomless. We go Cold Wave, drop a Nanta, pop his monster, but he's actually got the Black Rose play, which makes things kind of awkward, because we don't have a normal summon to kill him here. But he is just going to die to Trag, and he honestly could have just like put this Dandy in defense or something. He would have still lost to Brain Vanities or whatever, but now he's just super dead because I have the Dust Tornado in the end phase, and I just attack for game with Tragodia. So yeah, that was that match was a slog playing in real time, by the way. This was like an hour-long match against Monster Gamer with his crazy skill drain plant thing. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed all of those, that marathon of games. I've been having a ton of fun with this deck. I think it's got some serious potential. These like Reptile cards, people need to actually read these, because they're actually not that bad. Like they've got some pretty good effects, you know, especially Gardno. This card is nuts. This card is nuts. So that's the deck. That's the little showcase. Hope you guys enjoyed the list. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace out.